shit.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I'm Jonathan.
Zelda.
Welcome back to North Lake Survivors. So you saw the Marvels?
Yes.
What did you think?
I loved it.
I
was
did
so
too.
cool.
Alright.
I know it didn't do good in the box office, right?
It's bombing.
Yeah. I think it's because it doesn't have like the original Marvels.
And it's also
Yeah.
came out, I think it first came out right when the strike was still ending. So there was no real actors talk, like the actors couldn't talk about it, they
That's
couldn't
right,
promote it.
too. Yeah.
And I think that really hurt it. But it's such a fun movie.
It is.
I know you and Nino put off watching it because you guys wanted to watch everything involved. So what did you guys watch to get ready for it?
Well, I think the only thing... Well, we did watch Miss Marvel, which was pretty cool.
I loved
And
Miss Marvel.
then-
She's like my favorite new character. Like in the comics itself,
Yeah.
I love her. She's so fun and nerdy.
She's so goofy. She's so, like, starstruck.
For the longest time, I was like, she's the new Spider-Man. And people are like, no, Miles Morales is the new Spider-Man. It's like, okay, fine, but she's the new Peter Parker. Like,
yeah, because they both have the same personality
Yes.
where they're like, oh my god, this is so cool.
yeah.
Like,
So
they're so, like...
So yes, she's not the new Spider-Man. Miles Morales is the new
Yeah.
Spider-Man. And I love Miles Morales. He's
Yeah.
such an awesome character.
Mhm.
But she's Peter Parker. Like you
Yeah.
read her comic and it's more about her personal life than the superheroics.
Yeah.
And that's always been Peter Parker. It's what the fuck's going on in Peter Parker's life and why are these villains keeping him from fixing his life?
Right.
And that's Miss Marvel. I love that character.
Yeah.
And that show was so good. She was the perfect actress for that.
She was. She
Uh,
was so cute.
When Captain Marvel came out, she put on her letterbox reviewed and it was like, I want to play Miss Marvel. And then she played Miss Marvel.
Yeah, I saw how much of a nerd she was. She was, like, so into comic books.
Yes.
And, like,
She writes the current run of Miss Marvel.
I was like, this is just, like, perfect for her.
I'm a huge fan of hers. I love
Yeah.
her. So you saw Miss Marvel. That was
Yeah.
great. They changed her powers,
Yeah.
which is alright. In the comics, she's more like Reed Richards. Her body just stretches.
Okay, so it's different than in the comic.
Yeah, well, now they're kind of moving it more in line too. They've made her a mutant in the comics now, where originally she was an Inhuman.
Okay.
They had her die, and then they had her brought back as a mutant.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, alright, it's weird. Trying to combine the two, but it's
Okay.
fun. I love her character.
Yeah.
And I love that they gave her the gauntlets things. So, like that's a
Oh,
whole
yeah,
other
the
character,
bracelet.
Kazar, that I think they're gonna try to introduce.
Mhm.
It's just fun. She's a fun character.
Yeah.
You saw WandaVision?
Yeah, I saw WandaVision, and that's where the daughter was introduced, right, of Rambo.
Well, she was actually introduced in Captain Marvel. She was a little girl in
She was a
Captain
little
Marvel.
girl, yes. But the grown-up version
The
of
grown-up
her
version was introduced,
in WandaVision.
and now
Yeah.
going back to the comics,
Mhm.
that's my favorite Captain Marvel. And she was actually Captain Marvel before Carol Danvers.
Rambo? His daughter?
Yeah, Monica Rambo.
Oh, okay.
So the original Captain Marvel in the first movie, you
So
know.
this is comic book version. She's the Captain Marvel in the comic book.
Well, no, now Carol Danvers is now, but she was in like the 70s, 80s.
Okay.
The original Captain Marvel. So in the first movie,
Mhm.
you know that older lady that was Carol's like advisor.
Yeah, with the short hair.
Yeah. So she was in the comics. She's a guy, and she was the original Captain Marvel.
Well, she does kind of look like boyish. But you clearly, that's probably why they made. No.
Wow!
Well, because, like, she has short hair, so, like, they probably made her look more manly to fit the comics.
Okay. Actually, technically, if you want to get technical, the first Captain Marvel is a DC character, who you might know called Shazam.
Shazam?
Shazam.
Yeah.
He was the original Captain Marvel.
What?
And then Marvel sued. And so DC can't use that name anymore. So now they just call him Shazam.
Wow, okay.
And then it was the guy version of that girl character from the first movie. And then her son. And then I think there might have been another Captain Marvel, I can't remember. But then it was Monica Rambeau.
Okay.
And she was like an Avenger. She led the Avengers for a while. She's my favorite Captain Marvel. I love that character. So when they brought her in WandaVision, like, and Captain Marvel was like, oh, that's cool. They introduced her as a kid. And then in WandaVision, when they brought her back, I was so excited.
Yeah. And so she got her powers by walking through the
Yeah.
transparent thing, right?
Yeah.
That's how it was. I think I remember.
Because
that.
by the end of WandaVision, she had powers.
Yeah. Mhm.
For my money, WandaVision is the best of the...
Oh my god, yes. It started off super slow.
People say that. Like
'Cause
everyone...
I didn't like it at first. I didn't give it a chance. I think I watched the first 2 and I was like, eh.
I
But then
watched,
after that, it picked up.
and a lot of people feel the same way you do.
Yeah.
The day the first episode came out, I watched it like 3 times. I was like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever
the very
seen.
first episode, it was like, you know, they're a TV show, and
But
it's
who am I? I love TV shows, and I was like, like they
I
just
was
like,
this is weird.
I was like, oh,
It's
this is
like
like Bewitched.
Yeah, it's like Bewitched. I was like, okay.
They're giving Wanda like an episode of Bewitched. This is genius.
And it was cheesy, which you probably
Oh,
liked. Yeah, you like that. You like the cheesy.
I was like, if this is all the show is, I will be here every week.
Yeah, that was you. It was very cheesy, very old timers.
And I love old sitcoms.
Yeah.
Like, you like Parks and Rec, The
Yeah,
Office. I'm not a fan of
that's
those.
me,
But
yeah.
you give me I Dream of Jeannie, Bewitched, Gilligan's Island, I'll
Yeah.
sit there like a little kid, like.
But they are good, but it was just really cheesy, and I was like,
But I love that. Like, I live for television like that. So the beginning, like, I like WandaVision towards the end, but the beginning of WandaVision is just like, oh, this is everything I've ever wanted in life. This is perfection.
It was Bewitched.
It was. So I was so invested in that show.
Yeah.
And for my money, out of the Disney Plus shows, it's the best one.
I'll agree because I really liked it, like
Towards the end.
the middle and
Towards
the
the
end.
end.
Like once I got past those like first 2 episodes that were kind of like eh, I was like, oh, this is really good. And
First 2
now
episodes are my favorite.
now I'll say it's like the top 5 of my favorites.
So what else is on that list?
Miss Marvel, of course.
Miss Marvel's definitely top 5. And I keep specifying Disney Plus because I still think Daredevil is the best Marvel show ever made.
Ooh, Daredevil. I think
But
the
those
first
are
one,
Netflix.
the first. Oh, what's that?
Those are Netflix. So
Wait, Daredevil's not on Disney?
I think you can watch it on Disney now. But when it first came out, it was a
It
Netflix
was
show.
Netflix. Okay.
The new season's going to be on Disney Plus,
Okay.
but that doesn't come out yet. So I'm just talking about the shows from WandaVision on. Miss Marvel, definitely a top contender.
Yeah.
And what else? I love Falcon and Winter Soldier.
That one's good too.
And I'm gonna rewatch Hawkeye for Christmas. That's my new Christmas movie.
I need to rewatch Hawkeye because I don't remember it much. But
That was one of the things I told you to make sure you've seen before the
yeah,
Marvels.
I did. I know I watched it, but I don't remember too much. So I need to rewatch it. Why am I? Scarlet. What's her name?
Scarlet Witch? That's WandaVision.
No, not Scarlet Witch.
Scarlett Johansson?
Yeah, Scarlet Johansson.
She had a movie. So hers
She
was a
didn't have a
movie.
series.
No, she just had a movie.
'Cause I really like
But her sister showed up on Hawkeye.
Okay. Then maybe I'm confusing
yeah.
them because I was like Hawkeye and they had like her sister.
Her
did
sister
show.
showed
Okay.
up on Hawkeye.
So I did watch Hawkeye then.
Yeah.
So that was Hawkeye's probably the top one.
Have you seen Loki?
I did not. I need to watch Loki.
You haven't seen either season?
No.
Oh my god! Season 1 was brilliant. Season 2, I think, is one of the best things Marvel's done in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it was so fun.
I need to watch Loki. Which one's your top?
WandaVision?
WandaVision.
I kind of like them all. But favorite would be WandaVision, and then I think probably Miss Marvel, and then Loki,
Yeah.
and then Hawkeye and Winter Soldier
All right,
right
then.
there.
I need to watch Loki since you're saying it's really high.
It's genius. What If is alright, but it wasn't like life altering. For my money, Secret Invasion was the weakest.
Yeah, we just watched Secret Invasion. It wasn't all that. I was like, it was kind of confusing to me, especially how it ended. I guess there will be a season 2.
Spoilers if you haven't seen anything. I don't think there'll be a season 2.
Because the way it ended, it's like
I think
they kind of left it
Daenerys will
open.
be back in other things, but I don't think there's gonna be a season 2.
Oh, you're like Daenerys. I was like, wait. Game of Thrones.
I couldn't think of her name.
I know, I can't
couldn't think of her name. I was
either.
thinking of it.
Daenerys. Yeah. Oh my god, I love her. I loved her when I saw it. I was like, yes, Daenerys.
But in the comics, Secret Invasion I think is one of the better storylines. But it's superheroes being replaced.
Yeah.
And so I was like, this should have been an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Not a miniseries just for Nick Fury. And spoilers, if you haven't seen it, but the director wants at the end, when you see James Rhodes kind of limping out, they're like, oh, well, because he was taken right after Civil War. And it's like, if you do that, that would be the stupidest thing in the world. That's the worst time to take him from. Because then his goodbye to Tony Stark means nothing. And arguably, in the history of James Rhodes in the MCU, the most memorable shit he did was an Endgame. And you just erase that? That would be stupid.
Yeah.
So I don't like that. I don't want that to be what they go with. The director was the director's wrong.
Yeah.
Kevin Feige, don't listen to him. Because that's a stupid choice.
Yeah. I think the way that it ended too was kind of. You didn't think it was just weird how it ended?
The whole thing felt kind of
Yeah.
forced.
Yeah. I was just like.
And for the life of me, I can't tell if that takes place before the Marvels or after.
Yeah.
It doesn't really seem to fit in with the rest
But
of
it
the...
had like it kept flashing back to his younger days.
It did.
Yeah. So you could tell he's old in that series.
Yeah.
And then it flashed back to his younger
Flashback.
days.
But that's
So-
because the Skrulls and all that were introduced in Captain Marvel, which takes place in the 90s.
Yeah.
So the Nick Fury you see in that movie is modern day Nick Fury.
Yeah. But you don't know if it takes place before Endgame?
No, it definitely takes place after Endgame. I don't know if it takes place before the Marvels.
The Marvels. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's true. So Marvels seems like it's later. Marvel seems like it's current.
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
But the Marvels clearly takes place around Miss Marvel because the post-credit scene for Miss Marvel is in the Marvels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So it seems like Miss Marvels is kind of current right now.
Yeah.
And then there will be something else after, hopefully.
How do you feel about Brie Larson? I think she gets a lot of hate, but I think she does a good job as Carol Danvers.
I think she does a good job. What, do people hate her?
People think she's kind of stiff, but it's like if you read the comics, Carol Danvers is a very stiff character.
Oh, I need to read the comics.
Like she's not an interesting character. I actually think Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is more interesting than the comic book Carol Danvers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I can't compare from the comics since I haven't read it. But
I think she gets unnecessary hate.
I don't see anything wrong with her. I think she plays a good Miss Marvel.
But
Captain
Captain Marvel.
Marvel.
Miss Marvel stole that movie though.
She did.
She stole that movie. Her nerding out the whole time was
Yes, her
amazing.
goofiness, like,
And I love her family.
Yes, her family's amazing. They're just like cute, you know. Typical.
Her brother.
Typical, you know, Asian family, overbearing, overprotective, and they're so funny.
Yeah.
At the end, the mom was like trying to tell the son, you know, this house is good for a family, and he was like, spoiler, sorry.
No, we said spoilers.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember when the character was first introduced in the comics. I told you about her. I was like, she has your name.
Yeah, and I was like, what?
I don't know, man. That movie was fun.
Yeah.
Like Ant-Man 3 got a lot of hate. I enjoyed it, but I could like Marvel's struggling between that and Secret Invasion. It's like it's not hitting what it used to hit.
Yeah.
And I feel like Loki season 2 and this really got it back on track.
So yeah, I guess I need to watch Loki season. How many seasons are there?
Only 2, and I think it's done.
Okay. Okay. That's good because I don't want to watch
12
week
episodes.
after week. I hate it whenever like there's an episode that doesn't come out and you're just waiting.
Yeah, Ashley loved Loki, but she's like, I'm not watching it till it's done, and then she watched it all in one day.
Yeah, I like to do that too. I like to just watch it in one day. I don't want to wait.
Oh, I love the water cooler. I love watching an episode
Like,
and then
waiting?
sitting with it for a week.
No. What if it's like a really big cliffhanger?
Well, then it's even like,
It gives
what's
me
gonna
anxiety.
happen? What's gonna happen?
It's like,
How does that give you anxiety?
Because I want to look it up. And I want to look at spoilers. I want to be like, what happened?
We grew up when television was appointment.
And I hated it.
Oh my God.
I was always that person online trying to look for spoilers. I'm like, somebody has to have a spoiler. That was me.
Why do you want spoilers? Spoilers are the
Because
worst.
I want to know what happened. I don't like waiting.
Oh dear
a
Lord.
week. Like, you know, the new Game of Thrones, what is it called?
House of Dragons.
Like, when are we going to see that again?
I think they're gonna start filming it again. You gotta remember this.
And you saw how it ended?
Yeah.
And that gave me anxiety. I was like, what is going on? That was a shitty way to end. Without telling us.
No! You gotta keep people engaged.
But 2 years later, no one's gonna remember.
But that's because of the strikes.
True.
So
That is
it's
true.
the strikes pushed everything back.
Yeah.
Marvel only has one movie coming out next year because of the strikes.
Dang.
Deadpool 3.
Dang. Yeah, I feel like it's so sad.
The strikes.
Because you remember how Marvel movies used to have so much hype? And
Yeah.
now it's just like nobody cares.
Endgame was kind of the end. It kind of wrapped everything up.
It did. Endgames, everybody was so excited for Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, the movie theaters were so packed. Now movies are, like, not packed at all. Were they packed opening night for you?
No.
They were not. Well, I didn't go opening night.
I went opening night.
Yeah.
There was like 5 people in the
But,
theater.
yeah.
And I see most movies, if not opening night, opening weekend,
Mhm.
and there's never anybody in the theaters
Yeah.
anymore.
I feel like there's never anyone in the movies anymore.
It's sad. Like this, I like the cinema experience. I still remember like watching movies at midnight when they
And
like
people
Thursday
were,
at
like,
midnight.
cheering, and people are like super excited.
Yes, and it was like a theater experience. Everyone was invested. It was like a concert.
Yeah.
You don't get that anymore. Now you get like 5 people in a theater, all spread out, and half of them are talking on their phone. So you shut the fuck
That's
up.
the most annoying thing. Like when the Marvels, there was someone who actually like answered the phone, and I was like, oh my god, stop.
It's like, why are you so rude?
I know. It's like, and he was kind of older, so I didn't say anything, but still it was rude.
It's entirely rude.
I
You
was
just
like, oh.
people have less manners now than they did in the past.
Yeah, I was like, come on. They even tell you when the movie starts, please turn off your phone.
I love AMC because if it wasn't for AMC, I wouldn't go to the movies as often as I do because ticket prices are insane now.
Yeah, the AMC movie app is.
Yeah, so $23 a month, and I watch 3 movies a week.
Yeah.
You can't beat that.
It's really
Especially
nice.
since movie tickets, one ticket is like $12, $13 now.
Mhm.
But I like Alamo because they kick you out if you're on your phone.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they're like,
Been
get
there
out.
A while. That's pretty good.
That's what we need because I hate people. Even if they don't talk on the phone, I hate the light.
Yeah, the light is so distracting because you're in a dark theater and all of a sudden you see someone flashing their light.
And it gets me out of the movie.
Yeah, it takes you out of that experience.
It's obnoxious. People
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, they do. But yeah,
I hope they gave a Miss Marvel a 2nd season though.
I'm sure they will because of the way that it ended, like it's set up for a second.
Yeah.
Oh, Miss Marvel. I think like the
Miss Marvel.
Marvels.
No, Miss Marvel.
Oh, Miss Marvel. Yeah, I hope they have a second season for Miss Marvel too.
So what did you think of the end?
The end.
What was the post credit scene? The post credit scene was
Oh, what was the post credits scene? Because the end it showed like the X-Men. Oh,
the post credit scene was Beast. Was Monica Rambeau in an alternate universe with Kelsey Grammer's Beast and an alternate version of her mom?
Oh yeah, that was the post.
That was the post credit scene.
Yeah.
So the ending of the movie. What did you
Yeah.
think of the ending of the movie?
So Miss Marvel and Hawkeye's daughter, right?
Well,
Is
like
it Hawkeye's
protege, his protege. She's not his daughter.
Oh, she's not his daughter. Okay.
No.
So she was like, "Hey, you're not the only kid, Marvel."
She
superhero."
basically, like, if you watch it, go watch the post credit scene for Iron Man 1 and then watch them. She's trying to quote Nick Fury.
I don't remember, really?
Yeah. Like
I
she's
don't remember that part.
she's saying basically what Nick Fury said when he shows up in Tony Stark's house after the first Iron Man movie. So like the post credit scene of Iron Man.
Oh, the first Iron Man movie. That's such a long time ago.
Yeah, so the post credit scene of Iron Man is
Oh,
Nick
wow.
Fury kind of walking out of the shadows and is like, "You just entered into a much bigger world," and yada yada yada. So that's you thought you were the only superhero, all of that. So that's what she's saying to Kate Bishop,
Oh, wow.
and it's just like, okay, this is awesome.
But yeah, so now it shows that it's kind of leading up to like a new.
The Young Avengers. Now
era.
I can't think of when Miss Marvel was a Young Avenger. She was a champion, another group of young superheroes. But I think they're gonna just make her the Nick Fury of the Young Avengers, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
But they've already introduced a bunch of them. So you got Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
So if you've seen Falcon and Winter Soldier, Eliza Bradley, the old black man who had super soldier serum, and he talked like Sam Wilson talks to him, and he's like, in World War II before Steve Rogers, I was the one they experimented on, yada yada yada. I believe it's his grandson who answers the door.
Mm-hmm.
He's Patriot. He's a young Avenger.
Okay.
Wanda's kids, the twins from WandaVision and then Doctor Strange.
They are real, right?
They're not real.
They're not real.
But
I was like, they're not real, but they're.
But they're young Avengers. So basically, what it turns out in the comics was that she didn't just make two kids out of thin air. She kind of stole other people's kids without realizing it. And then after the spell thing was broken and they vanished, they went back to their real lives. But they were still imbued with her magic. So one has magical powers like her, and the other one has speed powers like her brother.
Oh.
So they're young Avengers. And then you have... people are saying it's probably going to be a kid Loki. But in the comics, it's...
What about the Hulk?
So I'll get to the Hulk in a
I
moment.
didn't look at the Hulk series. Did you watch She-Hulk?
I did. I watched
I
She-Hulk.
think there was a kid in there, right?
So She-Hulk was... No, there wasn't really. Oh, at the end, you're right. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Nino said there was a kid.
There was. They introduced the Hulk's son.
Yeah.
He was never a young Avenger or a champion. But we'll get to the Hulk. We'll get to the Hulk last. But yeah, that's true.
Okay.
But in the comics, it was a young Kang the Conqueror. But because of Loki introduced the way they introduced Kang and all that, I don't think they're going to go that route. I think they probably will go like a young Loki. Because they did introduce a Loki kid, which would be kind of cool.
Is that in the Loki series?
Yeah, it's in
Okay,
season
so I
1.
need to watch
It deals a lot with the multiverse.
Loki. Okay.
And then obviously Kate Bishop. So then when it comes to the Hulk, in the original Young Avengers one, it's actually a Skrull. Like the Secret Invasion people, who is called Hulkling. But in the Champions, Amadeus Cho, who has Hulk powers, is the Hulk for that team.
Okay.
But you're right, they did introduce Scar. So Scar, Hulk's son, he could be the Hulk for this series, which would be interesting, especially since Skull's kind of an asshole and moody. It'd be interesting to see his dynamic with everybody else. Because he doesn't really turn human, he's just the Hulk character. Like,
oh, okay, that's pretty interesting.
so that would be interesting to run. But I do love that they're setting up the Young Avengers. And then at the same time, they're setting up the Thunderbolts, which is a Avenger-like team of reformed villains.
Oh.
And so in the movies and all that stuff is being set up by, I forget her character's name, but basically Elaine from Seinfeld. That character.
Yeah.
And so you got Black Widow's sister, you got, I think they said they're going to try to get Bucky into that. You have, like, they're just, she's getting all these different people and she's putting her own team together. So you're going to have, like, villain Avengers, kid Avengers, and then I'm assuming Sam Wilson's going to put the Avengers back together because Captain America 4's coming out soon.
Dang.
And he's, you know, the new Captain America. It's an interesting time. Like, I think it's because Phase 3 of Marvel is, like, way up here, and then Phase 4 dropped all the way down here because it was just, let's reintroduce all these new characters. And so people are like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But give it time. We're now in, like, the middle of Phase 5, and I think it's getting good. As long as... I think everything depends on the court case that starts later this month.
Oh, so it depends on that.
On Jonathan Major's court case. I think everything depends
so that's
on
not
that.
Even, that hasn't come out yet?
No, I think it's just starting.
Oh. That's like old.
Yeah, but
I thought that was already done and gone.
It hasn't got a trial yet.
Dang.
But I think based off of that is how everything will unfold.
Okay.
But the thing that gets me is that, like, if he's found guilty or if the controversy becomes too much and Marvel drops him, then they're going to get rid of Kang and go a whole other route. And I'm like, that's stupid. If you can't use Jonathan Majors, recast him.
But wouldn't it be different if they recasted him? It just wouldn't be the same, right?
Don Cheadle was not the original James Rhodes, but no one's like, oh, we'll give Terrence Howard back his job. Like,
alright, then. I don't know.
And what movie's coming out? I think it's the next Captain America movie. Harrison Ford is playing Thunderbolt Ross because the guy who was playing Thunderbolt Ross in Endgame, and yeah, he is, but he's going to be the Red Hulk.
He's not old. He's young, but he's kind of old.
He looks older than he is.
Yeah, I was was like,
But the
dang.
guy who was playing Thunderbolt Ross in the Incredible Hulk and Infinity War and Endgame, he just died.
Oh,
So, but they're like, we're not getting rid of the character because he died. They just recast
okay.
with Harrison Ford.
Okay.
So, if you can't use Jonathan Majors, recast him. But I think Jonathan Majors is going to be proven innocent.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, everything I've heard, it seems like that lady lied about a lot.
Heard, like it sounded like she was not telling the truth, or sounded like that.
Yeah.
Like from
So,
what I heard.
and I hope, because he's such a talented guy.
Yeah. He's really good.
But I mean, I think Kang is such an interesting character, and it'd be a shame to just throw it away. And then they're like, we'll replace him with Doctor Doom. And it's like, don't you dare. Doctor Doom is too important to bring in as a replacement. He needs his own story. But I love these Marvel movies. Like, I'm still in. I mean, I get they're not to the level they were, but I still love them.
Yeah.
And Daredevil's coming back.
Ooh.
Have you? So you haven't watched She-Hulk?
I didn't know what She-Hulk.
So in
Do I need to watch that before Daredevil?
in She-Hulk, Matt Murdock shows up.
Oh, really?
He's in it. So after the Netflix series ended,
Mhm.
I think there was like 2 years where Marvel couldn't do anything, and then Matt Murdock, of course, first showed up.
Mhm.
Do you remember where? No Way Home.
Oh yeah, No Way Home.
He was Peter Parker's attorney.
Yeah, I remember. Everyone was so excited. I remember that.
And then we get in the Hawkeye show,
Mhm.
we get Kingpin. Kingpin shows up. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
So then in She-Hulk, Matt Murdock shows up again, and this time he's in costume.
Okay, he's okay. So you don't recognize him?
Well,
Do you recognize
you reckon because he shows up as Matt Murdock and Daredevil. Because in Spider-Man, Daredevil never showed up, just Matt Murdock.
Okay.
She-Hulk, you get both.
Mhm.
And so now there's a show coming out called Echo. I don't think Daredevil's going to be in it, but Kingpin's going to be in it again.
Okay.
And then you get the Daredevil show, which will have Kingpin and Daredevil, and supposedly maybe the Punisher. If we bring the Punisher back in.
Oh my god,
What's
I
your-
haven't heard about the Punisher in forever.
If we're doing all of this, can we please, I know everyone hated the Iron Fist show. I liked it, but apparently everyone hated it. But could we
I
just...
never finished it.
Oh my god, I actually liked it. All I want...
It just sounded like another kung fu movie.
It was.
Which, if you like kung fu, that's your thing. Which this is
But-
different.
But when Iron Fist came out, me and a lot of other people were like, that's cool. But
Yeah.
what we got really excited for was when that came out, because also there was Luke Cage, and Luke Cage season 1 kind of laid the groundwork for it. It's like, oh, they're going to do Heroes for Hire. So Heroes for Hire is where Luke Cage and Iron Fist have a Heroes for Hire business. Kind of like
Okay.
private investigators, but like, you need a superhero, you pay us and we'll be your superhero. And so it's like, oh, set that up. And the way Iron Fist 2 didn't really set up, but Luke Cage season 2, the ending of it, and then a couple lines in Iron Fist 2 set up like, okay, we're going to have one more season of Luke Cage, and then we're getting Heroes for Hire.
Okay.
And then the Netflix deal fell through. So I know we kind of need one more season of Luke Cage to kind of tie up Luke Cage's storyline so that we can get Heroes for Hire. But fuck it, enough time has passed. We'll just roll with it. Have some lines of dialogue. Give us Heroes for Hire. Have Iron Fist and Luke Cage selling their services and being heroes because that's what everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I agree.
And you could bring Jessica Jones in it because her and Luke Cage get married and have a baby.
Do they?
Yeah, in the comics they have a baby. They have a little one. That's what I want. Give me that.
You need to write a letter.
All right, Kevin Feige. Dear Kevin Feige. Give me Heroes for Hire. Thank you. Much love.
You could write a letter, and they'll be like, okay. They'll be like, no.
I don't know. But I love the Marvel shows. I'm still
Yeah.
invested.
I just need to finish the Marvel shows. But yeah, I love the Marvel movies.
They're so much fun.
Yeah. What else?
Oh. So you saw Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I loved it. It was...
It was
You
gory.
couldn't watch the
I
death scenes?
know,
Alright,
it was
spoilers
so
if you haven't seen it. You couldn't watch the death scenes.
It was, well, some of them were a little, like, gory, very gory.
The lady at the restaurant's face on the fridge door and
Yeah, with her skin coming off.
and then the stepmom being cooked alive.
Oh
Like...
my god. And they actually ate her.
Louis Lit.
Louis Lit.
I love that the
gosh.
whole premise of it is Black Friday people go crazy.
Because that is how people are on Black Friday. Well,
Well, used
yeah,
to be. I think
used
Black
to
Friday's
be.
kind of
Maybe not
died
anymore.
down.
It's kind of died down, but it used to be like that.
There's another horror-esque movie called Black Friday. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
It has Bruce Campbell.
Oh.
And it's basically a movie about he's the manager of a store on Black Friday, like a toy store. It kind of gets invaded by like zombies. It's such an interesting premise. You don't really have any Thanksgiving horror movies, and now within the span of like 2 years, you have two.
Yeah. It
And
kinda
they both
reminded-
are more about Black Friday than they are about Thanksgiving.
Yeah. It was all about Black Friday, giving away. What was it? A free
Waffle? Waffle iron?
iron.
I'm just like it perfectly made fun of society.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Death Proof or Planet Terror?
No.
So in 2007, on my birthday, because I remember for my birthday I went and watched it by myself.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez had a double feature. So you would pay for one movie ticket and you would see both of their movies
Okay.
playing back to back.
So like 4 hours long.
Pretty much.
Do you get like intermission?
No.
What?
But they were fake trailers. And so the Grindhouse movies, do you know what a Grindhouse movie is?
No, I never knew what that was.
So it's what they would call movies in the set. Make sure the red light is on. I can't see with my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
Just every once in a while, check and let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know what that wording on there was.
Yeah.
But so in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so in the 70s, the drive-ins, right? You've been to the drive-in before, right?
We went to one. But
We
it was
went one,
closed.
but it was closed,
So I never
yeah.
got that drive. Oh, there's a message. Now.
I have another battery, so if the
Okay.
battery dies.
Mm-hmm.
So, you gotta go to the drive-in. The drive-in's so
I
fun.
know, we
There's one not far
tried.
from here.
Me, you, and Tina tried.
Well, maybe we can get a group together and go.
Yeah.
There's one not far from here.
Yeah.
But, in the 70s,
Mm-hmm.
you know, have you ever heard the term, like, a B movie?
B-rated movie.
Like a B-rated movie, yeah.
Yeah.
So it comes from the drive-ins. They don't. Ever since COVID, it's kind of changed. COVID fucked everything up.
Yeah. Cool.
But up until COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and traditionally throughout time, a drive-in would show you two movies for the price of one.
Okay.
And the second movie was referred to as a B movie. It wasn't as expensive. It wasn't as good.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of. It was there.
Yeah, it was B-rated.
It was like the B side of a CD or an album, like a record player.
Yeah.
Like that's where they put the other songs.
Mhm.
And so this was the other movie.
Yeah.
And those would be Grindhouse movies because a lot of them were exploitation flicks or horror films or whatever. And so that's what the term Grindhouse came from, B movie came from.
Mm-hmm.
They were cult films. People would go watch the first movie and leave.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people would stay for these movies.
Okay.
So it's real old, gritty exploitation movies. You got
Yeah.
black exploitation, kung fu like exploitation, like women in prison movies, all these different things.
Yeah.
So Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez, they were fans of those, so they made a movie. And so it was two movies with fake trailers. Robert Rodriguez's movie was Planet Terror, and it was like this flesh zombie movie with Rose McGowan from Charmed.
Okay.
I love that movie. It's so much fun. It's zombies and Bruce Willis.
Gore.
Gore galore. Rose McGowan, you've seen Charmed, right? So she's Paige. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So, anyway, so the main star, she's a stripper named Cherry, and she gets her leg blown off.
Okay.
So she replaces it with a machine gun. So she's walking around with a machine gun for her leg, and then she'll like lift her leg up like, like it's over the top ridiculousness.
Oh and that's a movie?
Yes. Oh, you gotta watch Planet Terror and Death Proof. It's so fucking good.
Is it an old movie?
2007. But it was made
old
to
for
look
us.
like an old movie in the 70s.
2007 is old for us.
That's when I started college.
10 years ago.
So then,
Almost
no, Zelda, it's almost 20 years.
20 years. Oh my god, see? I'm like, that's even 20 years. I don't even remember what I
So
was doing
then-
20 years ago.
Quentin, it was when I started college.
Yeah, we both started college in
yeah.
2007. We graduated.
So
Yeah.
so Death Proof is a movie with like Kurt Russell, and it's cars. There's this stuntman is killing people in his car. He's a serial killer who kills people with cars. So it's like a road racing movie. Rosario Dawson's in it.
Okay.
It's a pretty good movie. So they played back to back, and what was cool was in these movies they made it look like old movies. So there's missing reels. Like in Death Proof, this girl's about to give this guy a lap dance, and right as the lap dance starts, you see the little cigarette burn in the corner. Which for the driving, when you see the little cigarette burn in the corner, it means that they're changing the reels. So they're taking, because a film reel is like this back when it was on film and not digital. So they take it off and put the other one on. So that's where the first reel ends and the next reel starts.
Okay.
So he puts that in there, but then they have a missing reel in that movie. So the lap dance is about to start. You see the little cigarette burn. The screen goes blank and then it comes back on, and it's like 5 minutes later in the movie.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then like there's little like they put imperfections in the movie. At one point in Planet Terror, the film starts degrading, like it's on fire, and then it comes back. Like it was, they had fun with it. They made it look like they're bad copies of old movies, and it was fun. So I say that to say that there were fake trailers in it, and they got real directors to do the fake trailers. Like Edgar Wright did one, but the one Robert Rodriguez did one called Machete with Danny Trejo, and then that became a movie.
I know that one. I know that movie.
Yes, and then it became a second movie, and then there's apparently a third one where he goes to outer space, which I'm like, can we finally get that movie? But for the longest time, that was the only one that became real.
Okay.
And the other one that everyone was like, this needs to be made, was Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. So finally, after like 16 years, we got it.
Dang.
And I sent you the trailer. Did you watch it? So yeah, 16 years ago, and they finally made it. But I loved it. I had such a fun time with that movie.
It was pretty good. Did you know, like, who it was? The killer? From the beginning?
I actually thought it was Ryan.
You thought it was Ryan?
I thought it was Ryan. I thought it was the boyfriend.
I thought it was, at the beginning, I thought it was, because there were two guys that liked her.
Yeah.
I thought it was one of those.
That's, I thought it was the new boyfriend. I thought it was too obvious to be the old boyfriend.
Yeah.
I did not see it being the cop.
I didn't either, but there was one part of me that thought maybe it's the husband.
Well, part of me thought it was the new cop.
Yeah.
The cop that just showed up.
The husband, because she had a husband, right?
She did, yes. So she was having an affair with the cop.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
I thought it was a good twist. I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. I was like, that's a really good twist. I did not see that one. Yeah.
Do you think he's dead?
No, because they didn't find his body.
They didn't find his body, yeah. And like, nobody can survive that. And it's like, oh, when nobody can survive it, that means somebody survived it.
Somebody. And they didn't find his body, so he's still out there, which means there's going to be a Thanksgiving part 2.
Yeah, I think so.
Or Christmas.
Thanksgiving part 2.
Black Friday part 2.
Thanksgiving part 2. This time, there's no... I loved how cheesy it was. They kept saying, there's no leftovers. So I'm just like, oh! The corny-ass lines, I'm here for it.
This time, there will be no leftovers.
I had such a fun time with that movie.
Which one was your favorite death scene?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
The trampoline one was fucked up.
Oh my god, that's the one I was like, I couldn't look. I turned away. I saw it, the knife, and I was like, oh, I know where that's going.
It was so fucked up.
I was like, oh my god.
Oh.
My favorite was the one where the cat, like, after he killed the dude and
he picks the cat.
And he said the cat, and I was like, me and Nina, we were like, okay, he's a good guy. He stopped and he fed the cat. We were like, okay, he's a good guy.
I did like that. I did. I love that scene. I was like, that's awesome.
That was the cutest scene ever.
The one that fucked me up the most was not even her death, but the girlfriend who was going to Florida.
Yes.
And the corn things in the ears.
Oh my god! And then what we couldn't understand was why she was crawling away, because her legs were still working. Why was she crawling away?
I don't know.
Because after he did that, she was crawling away, and I was like, well, maybe because sometimes in your inner ear affects your balance.
It does affect your balance.
So maybe that's
or she was just scared and couldn't hear anymore, so she didn't know where he was at, so she was afraid to stand up.
Probably, yeah. Yeah, that could be an explanation too.
But that was the one that fucked me up the most. And it wasn't even her death. It was that.
And I kind of want to know, why did she get the most fucked up death? Because what did she do?
I think she got the most fucked up death out of
Is it
convenience.
because
I think he was.
Maybe it's because she's a cheerleader. They have a vendetta
I
against cheerleaders.
don't think the plan. This is just my theory, but I don't think the plan was to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, eventually to kill her, yes.
Yeah.
But I think she was going to end up at the table at the end.
Because when they were like, oh, she's going to Florida, I was like, oh, she's safe. She's leaving.
Yeah. But the killer, I don't think he went there to kill her.
Mm-hmm.
I think he went there to kidnap her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she was going to end up at the table with everybody else. Because he didn't kill the first two kids.
Yeah.
He brought them to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was going to do that to her too. But then when they showed up to save her,
Yeah.
he no longer had any choice.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, I think her death was caused by them trying to save her.
Probably, yeah.
I hated the stepmother.
The one that got cooked alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was so annoying.
If you hear scratching in the background, Goliath is being
Yeah.
crazy.
Aw.
Hi, Goliath.
Hi, Goliath.
Hi, you're on camera now.
You gonna say anything?
They're waiting for you to talk, buddy. He's just looking at you like, who is this? But I hated her.
Yeah.
I
she
think,
was-
who the fuck was the girl in the refrigerator?
Oh my god, I thought that was the main girl at first because they had the same eyebrows. But then
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, that's not her. Who was the
And then
girl?
she just closed the door on her again. I'm like, was that ever addressed?
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck
She
was
like,
that?
Please save me. She was still alive. And I'm like, wait, who was that?
No idea.
First I thought that was the main girl,
But it wasn't.
but it wasn't.
I was
don't know.
very confused about the
I
girl
know.
in the refrigerator.
Are they the same girl?
I don't
'Cause
know,
It looked
maybe.
like they had the same eyebrows.
It looked like some other girl, but her hair looked shorter.
Yeah. It was hard to tell because she was in a bag.
That is true.
Yeah.
She just closed the door on her.
Yeah. She was like, help me. And I was like, oh, okay, it's weird.
I do love when Suits guy was like, "We're not opening on Thanksgiving," and his wife was like, "Really?" Like all that bitch cared about was the
All she
money.
cared about was money. It was so.
She was the worst. I'm glad she died.
Yeah, she did. I'm glad that they gave her that kind of death. Like,
Yeah.
That's like the worst way to go. Being cooked
Being
alive.
cooked alive. Oh my
Ugh.
god! Like I couldn't.
That is horrible.
I love when he puts her in there and then he closes it and then he opens it back up and then he puts the thermometer in her.
I was like, gosh.
And the slow scene of him just like
Yeah.
getting all ready, like, oh, okay, put the
Yeah.
basil on, here's some salt.
Salt.
I was like, this is so fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
You should watch the Grindhouse movies though.
The really old ones.
From '07.
That's when we were babies.
Oh dear
07,
lord.
I think. I
Oh.
don't remember anything from 2007.
But they were great movies. And this was a great movie too. I hope they make a sequel. I would definitely check it out.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of, like, the Scream movies. But they weren't as corny as Scream. But it was kind of like the whodunit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Well, they're all. So you have 3 different movies that all do kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the Scream movies, which are satires.
Mm-hmm.
So those are movies that they're looking at old horror movies and they're dissecting them.
Yeah.
They're lightly poking fun of them, but they're really dissecting them. They're like, these are how horror movies work. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
Then you have Scary Movie, which is just a parody. Like, let's make fun of scary movies.
Yeah.
And then you have these Grindhouse movies, like Thanksgiving, Death Proof, Planetary, and they're homages. Like, let's pay respects to these old movies. Careful, buddy, careful. Let's pay respects to these old movies. So they're all different movies doing kind of similar things of like, let's take a look at old movies and
Yeah.
let's reference them. That's all they're doing. They're all referencing these old movies
Yeah.
and doing it in different ways. And I love how it's just, this one was so over the top, but it was
Yeah.
fun.
It was.
Oh
It
my
was
god.
really good.
I love the glass breaking.
Oh, yeah, with the Mart.
Yes. Right, Mart. Gee, I wonder who they were making fun of.
Who were they making fun of?
Walmart.
Did Walmart break?
No.
Oh, Right Mart because of the name.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Walmart, I guess supposedly, I think it was in Florida, some woman was stompled to death on Black Friday at Walmart.
At Walmart, I never heard of that.
I don't know if she died or was just like put in the hospital. But
Dang.
she got trampled.
Dang.
People are fucking crazy over sales.
Sheesh.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah, now you don't really see a lot of people going out for shopping
Black Friday's
anymore.
dead now. COVID killed it, just like it killed everything
Yeah.
else.
It did.
Are you going anywhere for Black Friday?
No. Are you?
One place,
Just
because
the
movie trader.
yeah.
Because you can buy one, get two free, and that is an insane deal.
That is pretty good. Does it get crowded there?
I don't know, huh?
Oh.
It's only from 9 a.m. to noon on Fridays, so. And then after that is buy one, get one, which is still a good deal.
Yeah,
but
I think most people usually go out for like midnight releases and
Yeah.
stuff. Because I never seen any good deals besides movies.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any good sales going on.
Well,
or any Black
Walmart
Friday.
and Walmart is doing their sale mostly online, and it's already started.
Yeah, and there's a lot of Cyber Mondays.
Yeah,
like,
which and Amazon,
Yeah.
their Black Friday deal has been on since last
I think
week.
since the cyber sales have gone on, most people like those better because you don't have to be in the crowd. You don't have to go out.
Like it. I like being in society with
Yeah.
people. I'm old.
Yeah, I like that too. But
It's
then
just gone.
whenever there's like people trampling over each other, that kind of sucks too.
Well, don't get trampled. It's fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I do like going out every once in a while. But yeah, because that's fun too.
It is. It is. It's fun to be
Yeah.
where the people are. Who said that? Ariel?
Sometimes, yeah.
Ariel? Isn't that her song?
Yeah.
I want to be where the people are.
are.
Like, come on, like, I don't know. I feel like we're building a society where we're building Wall-E. Like everybody just stays home on their computer.
Yeah.
It's like, is this really the world we want?
Eh. I mean, I would like to work from home. Just once.
Maybe it's because I work from home and I'm just
I
like,
think it's because you
I
work
miss
from home,
people.
You miss people, whereas most of us who work with people every day, we're
You're like, I'm tired of people.
Get me out of here! I'm tired of people. Yeah, I can see from your point. That's why Nino went back to work because he did not like working at home every single day. So now he went back.
He
'cause
went back.
hated
Does he like it more?
Yeah, he just hates the traffic, but he likes being around people now. But me, I'm like, man.
To be fair though, if I remember correctly, his job, even when he works from home, he still had a schedule.
Yeah.
I don't think I could give up the flexibility
Freedom.
of
Yeah.
I work when I say I work.
Yeah, that's tough. If you want to work for people, they most likely they have schedules. Like most of them are 9 to 5, which I hate 9 to 5. I don't want to work 9 to 5.
Working from home 9 to 5, I think would drive me
Yeah.
more insane.
And they need to have more flexibility because you can't do anything on a 9 to 5 schedule.
But not only that, but there have been study after study that shows that the 40-hour work week is redundant. Unless you're doing something like a factory or retail where the store's open, like, you know, every day, all week,
Yeah.
then the 40-hour work week isn't productive.
Yeah.
You get most of your work done within 20 hours, and the other 20 hours, you're just sitting there getting paid. So there's no reason to keep the 40-hour work week. It's outdated.
Yeah.
And and let's be honest. I know no politician wants to talk about this, but within 10 years, AI is going to be running everything. So we're all just going to be homeless.
Homeless.
Well, no one's working. You don't think AI is going to take over everybody's job?
Not nurses.
It's going to take over doctors' jobs.
Doctors, yeah. Doctors, there's already a bunch of teledoctors, but nurses, all these patients want nurses to take
To
care
wait
of
of them hand and foot.
Yeah. And a robot's not going to do that.
No, but it's going to do everything else.
It could do everything else, but it's not going to help. I would love it if a robot can help a patient to the bathroom. That would be nice.
There's a company that rents this like little robot device
Mhm.
that can clean an entire building by itself.
Wow.
So janitorial's gone. This writer's strike was all about AI not writing movie scripts. The actors are. I've read their contract. It doesn't seem like they want as much protection as they wanted to, but AI is already replacing actors. The dude who did the audiobook for Harry Potter, someone took his voice and made a documentary having him as the narrator, and the dude didn't even know about it. There are scams now. If you get a call from a relative talking about they've been kidnapped, that's not your relative. That's an AI voice. Like, it's insane how advanced that technology has gotten. AI has passed the bar exam, but when a lawyer used AI to try to write his brief, he got fat. So AI is not yet ready to become your lawyer, but it's getting there. Accountants, which the three major fields which guarantee you a middle income in this country that are still left is nursing, accounting, and law. Nursing, you're right, is probably protected at least longer than most other jobs. Law, it still has a lot of bugs to work out. But you know within the next year or two, accounting is done. That's all going to be AI.
Because it's all numbers.
It's all numbers. It's all... No company is going to hire you as an accountant when they can have a computer do it cheaper and faster.
You go to Walmart, there's like nobody working in the... It's all self-checkout.
Self-checkout. McDonald's has 1 or 2 stores that are completely automated.
Machines never work. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there. Why do the curry machines never work?
I don't know. That's a good question. But there are already 1 or 2 McDonald's that are fully automated. Amazon has these like blue robots that move their packages now.
When you go inside McDonald's, I never like see a person. It's always the iPad.
It's insane. Like we as a country need to start giving people money to survive because there are not going to be jobs.
That's
such
crazy.
A downer to end this episode
I
off.
know.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Zelda.
All right, give us legends.
That's legends. That's not my line, but
That's,
figure it out.
you can use it.